All right, everybody, welcome to the Backseat Huddle podcast, episode 84. Today we are doing power rankings, and my power rankings are decided based on who I think would win a game right now on a neutral field. So that's how this list was decided, and I promise mine is quite a bit different than most you're seeing out there. Let's get into it. At number 10, I've got the Miami Dolphins. The Miami Dolphins are the girl with tattoos, piercings, and dark hair. They've got red flags, but damn, they're really easy to look at and they're really fun to watch, but they're probably not good for you long term. Their offense is really exciting and is really fun, but when it comes down to it, they haven't really proven that they're really all that good. Their offensive line is their biggest red flag. Their O-line is banged up as hell, and they're trying to protect Tua, who we already know isn't exceptionally mobile and is already injury prone. Red flag. The Dolphins, to me, are very Cowboys. They're just going to beat the dog shit out of the mediocre teams and run up the score. But then when they go up against real competition, they aren't legit. And we've seen it twice this season. They've played two teams, the defense in the top 25, and they didn't look anything like the team we saw when they were beating down on weaker opponents, which is exactly what we say about the Cowboys. There's enough I like about this team to continue to keep them in the top 10. Tyreek, their head coach, their running game. But I've been saying for the past few weeks, I think the Dolphins are a little bit fraudulent due to limitations at quarterback, lack of pass rush, suspect defense. I don't think this team is a legitimate threat outside of the postseason. They just scream regular season team to me. At number 9, I've got the Dallas Cowboys. We know what the Cowboys are at this point, right? We aren't letting a third straight year of them blowing out mediocre teams and then losing to actually good teams convince us that this team is any different, right? We aren't getting convinced that a Mike McCarthy coach and Dak Prescott team is actually capable of winning anything, right? Okay, good. Thanks. The Dallas Cowboys are a good team capable of winning games they should win and capable and often lose games they should lose. They're very good at home, not great on the road. They're great with a lead, and they aren't really great without a lead. They're not special on offense. It's just the Cowboys in a nutshell. At number 8, I've got the Kansas City Chiefs. Their offense stinks. They have no talent on the outside. They're too dependent on Travis Kelce in the red zone. Their tackle play is weak. Pacheco is good, but not game-changing good. And Patrick Mahomes' touchdown to interception ratio is worse than Russell Wilson's is this season. Even a quarterback like Patrick Mahomes can't do it all on his own. And right now, he's not getting a ton of help from people not named Travis Kelce. And no, this isn't an overreaction to their performance against the Broncos.
Previously on Avatar.
At number 7, I have the Kansas City Chiefs. Kansas City is the most overrated team in the NFL right now. If you've actually watched the Chiefs games this season, you can see this offense hasn't been good. They're averaging 21 points per game against teams that aren't the Bears. The defense, on the other hand, is fucking elite. I'm not going to let one bad performance against the Broncos change my view of this Chiefs defense. So the defense is legit, and they're the reason that this Chiefs team is still in the top 10 for me. At number 7, I've got the Buffalo Bills. Is there any team in the NFL with a higher high than the Buffalo Bills? The problem is it's always week to week, quarter to quarter, drive to drive with this Bills team. We never know just what we're going to get out of them. But when they play their best, they are absolutely something to behold. The problem is they're just up and down as hell, and they often aren't playing anywhere close to their best. Their A game is ridiculously good, but for whatever reason, they're just constantly playing their B to B minus almost every game. I personally think they lack elite coaching, but they seem to have good enough coaching, and Josh Allen still has ridiculously high highs and can still carry this team. So the 7-ish range feels right given the injuries they've had on their defensive side. At number 6, I've got the Detroit Lions. The Detroit Lions are a very good football team, but what about this team is elite? Their offensive line, yes. And then quarterback? No, but he's very good. Weapons? No, but they're very good. Running back? Maybe, but for now, we'll keep Jahmyr Gibbs in very good. Defense? No, but they're very good. Everything on this team is very good, but not special. And that's generally more than we can say about the Lions. So that is definitely an improvement for them. The problem with that is very good doesn't win you anything in the postseason. Special wins, elite wins. Patrick Mahomes is special. Joe Burrow and his group of weapons are special. Philadelphia's collection of offensive personnel is elite. And this Lions team lacks special. It lacks elite. It does not lack very good, which is certainly a hell of a lot more than we've been able to say about the Lions in general. But in the grand scheme of things, I just don't think this Lions team is good enough. They're very good, but very good isn't good enough. They're going to win the division. They're likely going to host a playoff game, but this team doesn't feel like they're going to make any noise outside of the regular season. So for that, I've got them at 6. At number 5, I've got the San Francisco 49ers. The 49ers losing streak isn't a big deal. They probably only should have lost 1, maybe 2 of those games. If their kicker just makes the fucking kicks he should, they would have beaten the Browns. And then if Purdy doesn't get concussed, maybe they beat the Vikings. Then to turn around and lose to a finally healthy Joe Burrow coming off a bye, that's not a knock against anyone. That's just the Bengals finally getting their ass into gear. There are real concerns for this team entering their bye week, but they'll have extra time to try and figure things out, which is exactly what we said about the Bengals 2 weeks ago. So who's to say the 49ers won't have the same type of turnaround? I'm not betting against it. That coach and another week for them to get healthy, 49ers will get back to cooking. At number 4, I've got the Cincinnati Bengals. This is how the Bengals feel this week.
I'm back, baby.
That's it. That's the tweet. At number 3, I've got the Baltimore Ravens. The Ravens look really good right now, but I haven't watched a ton of Ravens ball recently. I've only watched one of their games over the past 3 weeks, and that's right about when the Ravens start to turn the corner. I'm putting them here based on the fact they undressed the Lions, which I did watch, and the fact that the Cardinals game wasn't as close as the score indicated. A lot of smart people have been putting the Ravens high in their rankings, and I'm not going to try to outsmart someone who's actually seen more of this team than I have. I'll have a much better idea of what I think about the team after they play against the Seahawks this week. At number 2, I've got the Jacksonville Jaguars. The Jaguars are very good and they are getting better. And they made an excellent trade at their guard position, which at the trade deadline, which helps shore up by far their biggest weakness. I actually made a video about why the Jaguars are the best team in the AFC yesterday. You can find it here somewhere if you'd like to check that out. And at number 1, I've got the Philadelphia Eagles. The Eagles struggled against the Commanders, but division games are often weird, so I don't really make a ton of it. They don't look quite as good as the team we saw last season, but they also lost 2 very good coordinators. So it's not really shocking to me they don't look quite as good. And I also wouldn't be surprised to see this team really start rounding into shape over the second half of the season and start playing really to their potential and becoming more of the team we saw last season, which is really a scary thought if they're already at number 1, which most people have, including myself. We'll really get a true measure of what this team is actually like after they take on Dallas this week in a game I think that they'll win handily. So that is it, you guys. Those are my power rankings. Let me know what you thought. Let me know if I missed. Let me know if you think I nailed it, what I got right, what I got wrong. Feel free to like and subscribe. Take care, everybody.